Welcome to another day and another unboxing. I have a generic white box in front of me. Yeah, that's it. It's a phone, of course, but what is it? Well, let's not beat around the bush. Dun, 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 dun. Psh. There is a divider. Ha! And under the divider, dun, 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 you guessed it, this is the Unihertz Atom XL. It's a tiny, rugged phone. And by tiny, I mean, let me show you how tiny. This is the Unihertz Atom XL, and this is a Galaxy S20 right there. So as you can see, 4-inch display here. You can see the screen. There's lots of bezels. Yes, so this is a 4-inch rugged phone with a 48 megapixel rear camera. Very interesting. Let's turn it on, and while that's happening in the background, I am going to show you what else is in the box. So here is a little divider, and I guess there's supposed to be a SIM removal tool in here. That doesn't seem to be existing. And we have a little divider here that accesses the charger. Actually, that's the cord. USB-A to USB-C. That's exciting. It's all booted. See how small that screen is? Look how much bezel there is. And then we've got a charger here. I'm not quite sure what the wattage on this sucker is, but I'll leave this up so we can have a look. And then we've got something else in the box here. I'm not sure what that is, but earbuds? Nope. Oh, it's an antenna. Check that out. Here we are. Check this out. An antenna. Not sure what that does. There's nothing else in the box, by the way. So what does that do exactly? I guess it attaches up here. Maybe this has a walkie-talkie functionality or unlicensed spectrum walkie. Yeah, look at that. Big, monstrous antenna connector for unlicensed band radio use. So this is for making it a walkie-talkie. Ha! I did not expect that. All right, folks, let's have a look at this phone, shall we, real quick? So that's the accessories in the box. And that is the phone. So this features a Helio P60 octa-core processor at 2 gigahertz, 6 gigs of RAM, and 128 gigs of UFS 2 storage. I'm not sure if there's micro SD expansion for this, but yeah, there's actually buttons at the bottom here. There is a fingerprint sensor down in the middle here, which I guess is also the home button, and the back button and the recent apps buttons. This is unusual. It's very rare you see a phone nowadays with dedicated hardware buttons, but because this is such a small display, it's actually a good idea because it takes away from using up real estate for the buttons on the screen. It's running Android 10, and it does have a tiny screen though. It's a 640 pixel wide display, and it's only 1136 pixel tall. So 1136 by 640, not the highest res is going to be, but it's 4 inches across, and it looks like 69 maybe. Yeah. So I'll play with it and let you know what I think. In terms of battery, this is a pretty decent sized battery actually, considering it is a small phone. It's got a 4300 milliamp hour battery, which is a pretty decent size considering the size of the phone. And it's rugged, mil-spec, and water resistant. You see there's a SIM slot right here on the left-hand side with the walkie-talkie push-to-talk button. The bottom here is a USB Type-C connector and a headphone jack, which are, I guess, waterproof since they don't have a cover on them. On the right-hand side, you have a power lock key and a volume rocker. And on top, you've got that little antenna connector under that flap that I removed earlier. And it looks like an infrared transmitter as well, so you can use that as remote control maybe. Very nice, grippy. This is not painted. This is real aluminum, which is nice. So is this rear panel. It feels very premium, very nice. So are the buttons, by the way. I guess this is emergency calls. And yeah, it feels really chunky and solid. The front camera here is nothing too exciting. It's 8 megapixel. We don't know too much else. The rear camera is 48 megapixels, as I said. Hopefully it's the Sony IMX586 or something like that. It's got a flash and another microphone here. I'm not too sure what the details are on this, but You should check out the link in the show notes below, where I'll put a link to their Kickstarter campaign for this phone. Now, Unihertz, don't freak out. Unihertz has done a lot of successful Kickstarter campaigns before, so I wouldn't be too worried about them doing Kickstarter on this product. But I'm excited about this because, I mean, the display is going to be a bit of a pain, I think, because of 4 inches and 640 pixel wide, but everything else seems pretty solid. Helio P60 is fine. That camera seems interesting. Hopefully it doesn't suck. And it's nice to have a tiny little rugged phone for a change. And again, I want to pull out my Galaxy S20 again so you can see the difference in size. I mean, Galaxy S20 is not a really large phone to these standards today. So very, very small phone here, which is interesting. So there you go, folks. The Unihertz Atom XL. Please like the video, tell your friends, subscribe, comment below, and click the little notification bell. Remember, this is a compliment to my podcast, mobiletechpodcast.com. So you should subscribe. I'm on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, and Spotify, pretty much everywhere. So find me and subscribe, and you'll hear my thoughts about this phone on the podcast. So stay tuned for more videos, and until then, cheers, everybody.